welcome to the ActorsE Chat Show. I'm your host, Brett Walkow. I've missed you guys a lot. I've been running around on the road doing the funny, but I am back, and we're going to have a lot of fun shows this month. And they wanted to kick it off with something a lot of fun. A young gentleman who's been in the industry for a while. He just laughed when I said young gentleman. But he was really around for what was an amazing time for sitcom, and he's got an amazing website, Steu's Show.com. And let's talk to him. He's right here. Steu Shostak, everybody.
Hello.
Hey.
My goodness, thank you, thank you, my personal family. Thank you so much.
We gave him his own mic today. You want to know why? Because you did. I don't want to start there, but you did warm up. In my opinion, for a time in sitcom was like the most amazing time, I think, in sitcom. It was the birth of sitcom, I think. Wow, did I just make him feel old with that one?
It wasn't that far back. I didn't do the warm up at I Love Lucy.
No, but like the first sitcom I ever saw, my parents took me to see Happy Days.
Okay, I started just a little bit after that.
Just after that.
Just after that.
Well, I guess I meant it as it really was a different time for sitcom, though, don't you think? That it was it was more like theater on stage, I think.
Well, every sitcom at that point took off. They got away from the single camera comedies of the 50s, like Donna Reed and Father Knows Best and Leave It to Beaver and Dennis the Menace, and it was actually Norman Lear who brought back the stage, as you said, atmosphere of doing a sitcom live in front of a studio audience with All in the Family, which spawned Maude, which spawned Good Times, which spawned The Jeffersons, and that's where I got my start, right around that time. But the sitcoms that I worked on were the next generation into the 80s. I did do The Jeffersons, but I also did Silver Spoons. I did Amen. I did The Jeffersons. I did every sitcom that Sherman Hemsley starred in. He's a loyal guy. You know, he wanted the same people around with him, and plus he could kick my butt when I needed to.
Well, wait, let's take it back. Yeah. How did you get started and everything?
I began my professional audience career in 1974. Right out of high school, I was hired by a gentleman by the name of Robbie Robertson, who was a professional television audience promoter right here in Hollywood, not too far from where we are right now. And I used to go up to Universal Studios, the tour, and I used to hand out tickets to Joker's Wild and Truth or Consequences and a bunch of shows that have long since gone that nobody remembers at all. And
gee, thanks. Now you're making me feel old.
That's my job in life, Brett. Basically, I did that for several years, and I would go to the tapings as a kid, too, and I'd watch the warm-up guys. And I'd be fascinated by people like Johnny Olson. Now, do you know who Johnny Olson is, Brett, or was?
Yes, he worked with Spider-Man on the paper.
Okay. Now I really feel old. Johnny Olson was one of the greatest audience warm-up guys for game shows.
Really?
He did the warm-up and the announcing on What's My Line. Maybe we better not go back that far.
No, go.
How about Price is Right with Bob Barker? Yes. Okay. How about Match Game with Gene Rayburn?
Yes.
Okay.
I loved Match Game.
I'm in safe territory now.
Oh,
okay.
wait. Can we talk about Match Game for a second?
Yeah, I just did my show yesterday was all about the history of Match Game.
Where could they see this show?
Well, they could hear it.
Where they could hear it?
On my website, steushow.com.
See that segue right there?
Yeah, that was good. Thank you for
is
that.
that
I appreciate that.
Is that Norm?
Oh, am I looking? That's Johnny Olson.
Johnny Olson right there, okay.
Yeah, that's Johnny Olson, the greatest one. He's one of my heroes. He did the warm-up at all of those game shows.
Wow.
And people like him. And then I'd watch Norman Lear do the audience warm-up at All in the Family and Maude and all of his shows. And these guys were fantastic, you know? And the interesting thing was when Lear wasn't around, they'd get a writer from one of the shows to entertain the audience. And it was like, unlike you and I, who can do this sort of thing like that, some writers are only funny in the room. And so when they got up there and did their shtick that they do in the room in front of an audience of strangers that are not hip business guys like we are, was the end result. And so I made it known real early on that I could do this. Give me a chance. Let me go out there and do the warm-up. And it's like I got a lot of, yeah, sure, kid, go peddle your tickets, you know. Then the warm-up guy, one morning at Different Strokes, was late in showing up because, like I was this morning, I was a little late because of traffic out there on Highland Avenue. They had nobody to go on in his place. And the associate producer came up to me and said, well, you've always wanted to do an audience warm-up. Go out there and do it. And cold, you know.
Were you terrified or were you excited?
I didn't have time to think about what I was. Yeah. I just went out there and did it, and I had a little advantage because I was not only the audience booker that went up to the tour to hand out. You like me that much?
I do like you that much. Oh, there's different strokes right here.
Yes, there's the different strokes. It was the first show, and we used to tape the show in the morning at 11 in the morning, as opposed to most sitcoms which were taped at night. The kids' energy levels were higher in the morning.
Hold on. I don't think people realize that, because usually, most shows they just barrel them out during the day. Now, what did you say, between morning and night?
Most sitcoms in those days taped in the evening. Okay. 5:30 taping and an 8 o'clock taping, but they taped different strokes at 11 in the morning because the kids' energy levels were higher then. That was before they all got arrested. So I went out there cold and did whatever was at the top of my head and got gales, and I'm not bragging here, I got gales and gales of laughter.
Who's Gail?
I don't know. She was. I got her number after the show.
Walkow!
No, the point. You don't have a rim shot here like I have on my show. Pepper, get yourself a rim shot here. Okay,
Gonna walk away from that one.
Anyway, besides giving out the tickets at Universal Studios, I was also the group booker. I would call organizations like churches and schools on the phone, and I'd joke with them on the phone and send a bus out for them and bring them to the studio.
Wow.
Well, I had booked that audience, so they knew me. The producers didn't know that, so it didn't matter. I could belch, and the audience would give me a standing ovation.
What a perfect first audition.
Exactly, and that's the producers go, why aren't we using this guy on a regular basis? And that's how it started. So, yes, I cheated, but I got 25 years of work out of it.
Well, you didn't. Like you said, you were ready for it. It was the time, and you brought a busload full of people. How could you not succeed?
Busload of Volta-cockers, and it worked out great.
Meshuggah. We have a question from the internet.
We do. Hi, everybody out there.
It's over there.
How do we get this?
Yes, what is our question?
Well, several questions, but first of all, would you tell us again the shows that you warmed up for?
Oh, they want to know some of the shows you've warmed up for that they haven't heard of.
Different Strokes, Silver Spoons, Gloria, which was the spin-off of All in the Family with Sally Struthers, Mama's Family, The Jeffersons, the Pat Sajak Show. Remember when Pat Sajak had a talk show? And that was one program where the warm-up was better than the actual program.
It was actually only one program.
That's about how long it was on. Yeah. I have been fired off of a couple of shows for being too funny. There's a very fine line.
Ooh.
When you're
it's like being the warm-up funnier than the headliner. They're like, I don't want him to work.
Yeah, well,
there's Sajak right there.
There's Pat. Love you, Pat. You're a great guy. There was a show that I did, and I can't remember which one it was, but when they're ready to start taping again, they ring the bell. Ding! And one time I was in the middle of a bit with the audience, and the bell went ding, and the whole audience went, oh. And that was the end of Stewart's warm-up career on that show.
I was just going to say. Another question from the internet.
Yes.
Ron wants to know.
Ron would like to know.
Hi, Ron.
Hi, Ron.
What's the last TV series that you warmed up an audience for?
Oh, what was your last warm-up gig?
It was John Cryer's last sitcom before 2.5 Men. John Cryer was like Don Rickles was in the 60s and 70s, going from show to show to show. He finally got lucky, unlike Rickles did, at least in sitcoms, with 2.5 Men. The show was called Trouble with Normal, and it was on the air.
Oh my God, I've never heard of that one.
Oh, of course, everybody's heard of it.
No, but I do remember he was in a couple. I can't remember that one.
Yeah, The Trouble with Normal. He played one of 5 psychotic people who went to a female therapist. There's a premise for a sitcom if I've ever heard one. It actually was a hilarious show. It was on ABC for 6 weeks in the year 2000. So it gives you an idea of how old I am and how talented I am.
Look
because
that old,
here we are in 2012,
there he is,
and I'm
right
doing
there.
my own internet warm-up show now. Okay, so
warm-up show.
there you go.
We have another question from our lovely Pepper.
I saw John Cryer on the monitor.
Do you ever meet the actors when you warm up the show?
Oh yes, I meet them in most.
Wait, let the audience know. The question was from our internet shout-out. Did you ever get to interact with the different actors on the show?
Yeah, I became friends with many of them. Some of them did not turn out to be as nice as I had thought they would. So you learn to keep your distance from some.
Isn't that a bummer?
Yeah, it does. It bursts your
stuff.
bubble a little bit because I try to get along with everybody. I mean, you like me so far, don't you, Brett? Thank you so much.
And now we're going to commercial. You're watching ActorsE here on ActorsEntertainment.com. Let's take a look at why one of our most respected photographers, John Michael Ferrari, at imagesbyferrari.com, tells you all about his wonderful photography. Check it out. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, I am Judith Jones. If you are looking for photographs which a lot of you are. Let's face it, we need photographs every day. Actors, models, even if you're just, you know, the milkman, you need photographs, okay? You need to look good. And if you want to look good, you've only got one man to go to, and that's John Michael Ferrari. You see, I needed to look good. So I went to John, and he basically took me to the most beautiful place in LA and took these wonderful photographs of me, and I really didn't even recognize myself because I just looked, well, let's just face it, I looked stunning. So if you want to look stunning like myself in those photographs, go to him. He will make you look beautiful. If you're pretty, he'll make you look prettier. If you're not pretty, he'll make you look pretty. John Michael Ferrari. That's all you need to know. So go to imagesbyferrari.com. That's the website, imagesbyferrari.com. And you can check out all his photography and you can contact him there. You can look at a picture of me. He directed me, because if you need direction, which, hello, I do, he directs you too. So go and check that out, imagesbyferrari.com. You'll love it. You'll look great. Check it out. Bye, everyone.
Ricky lives in...
Hey, we're back, everybody. What's going on? Imagesbyferrari.com. I always want the little ball there. I always do it. Did I do it backwards again? Oh, no, I did it right for once. We're back. What are you pointing at? Oh, were you pointing at the monitor? Oh, hey, look, Actor Supporter, everybody. If you follow that little cursor there are actors discounts. You can find out about Images by Ferrari. You can find out about all the wonderful people that we love that are part of our show. Check it out. Back with Steu. We were talking on break, prior to break, about interacting with the different people. Did you find, when I started doing audience warm-up, I was warned about it. And this was, 30 years after you did it.
Thanks.
But, no.
Jeez.
No, it was, 10 years later. But it was, I was taught, don't stay in it too long. It's going to affect your ability to do other things. Did you find that the different actors and people that you worked with on the show were warm to try to help you be further along in your career? Or did you find that, like you said, some of them were kind of standoffish?
None of them really did anything to further my career. That was kind of up to me. I didn't know quite what I wanted to do after that. You know what? I still have this desire, but I'm too old now, and there are none of them left. I really wanted to host some sort of a Truth or Consequences beat the clock type game show. That was my goal at the time because I could interact with people really well. I could ask the right questions. I could keep them moving. I could be nice and warm and friendly to them. But today you have these things called reality shows, mean-spirited reality shows.
They really are, aren't they?
Yes. Boo!
Boo!
And the whole industry has changed. But I'm trying to preserve my time of the industry, and I think to a certain extent your remembrances of your childhood time with my own website and my own talk show that I do. And Pepper has her hand up.
That means
and
we have a
very
question.
annoying.
That's really? Don't tell that to the producer. Oh, look, we're out of time. You're fired. She never fires a guest. It's usually me.
This is my goal today, to be the worst guest on this program ever.
Am I sweating?
What do we need to take a question or something or?
Now
I'm hosting. I'm sorry. I'm used to doing my own show. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm a Virgo, and I like.
And then what happened on your date?
Skipping on the beach. Hi. We're back to the show. Yes, Pepper.
Would you ask Stu to do a warm-up for the ActorsE chat?
Oh, Stu, would you do like a warm-up for the ActorsE chat show?
There's like two people in this
No,
room.
we'll pretend. We'll pretend.
All right. Okay.
We'll pretend.
All right.
We'll pretend.
Okay, so there's actually people out there, but I got to
we
be
have a
able
laugh
to hear
track?
them laugh. Okay, so what do I want to do? All right, let me go back and you got the good thing. Okay. Well, thank you so much. Now, it's nice that you're applauding. You don't even know who I am, but what we have to do here, folks, is you're a very important part of this program. We could not do this show without you. We don't use canned laughter here. This is not the MASH. This is not Father Knows Best. This is not what's another show that uses canned laughter? Brett, Channel 7 Eyewitness News. None of those shows, folks, okay? We rely totally on your laughter and applause to augment our program today because your laughter and applause gives those actors energy. And when they get energy, they have a good time. And when they have a good time, you have a good time, and my job is safe for another week. So that's why we need your help. Okay, I think we can stop there, all right? I haven't...
Hey!
I haven't done that act in 12 years.
That's
want you to
fun,
know.
though. That's fun.
Okay. So
I
that's-
didn't know what to do when I first did warm up. When they asked me to warm up, I was just like, hey!
One thing I have learned, and maybe you've learned this too, because I know you're a very fine stand-up comic. People that go to audiences that are audiences that go to TV tapings do not want to have stand-up at them. They don't want to hear about a routine at the dentist. They want to feel that they're part of the show. I can't tell you how many times people came up to me and said, "Oh, you're so funny. Why don't you play the Comedy Store?" It's like, what am I going to do there? Tell them about the applause signs?
You could throw candy at people at the
I do
Comedy
that
Store.
too. I do that too.
We have another question thing. She wants you to come over here close to me.
I know that, but you know why I am
everybody.
leaving for this very reason. Yes.
Why?
Okay.
I'm not inappropriate
He's
at
a
all.
nice Jewish boy.
I am.
Like me. I'm a nice old Jewish boy.
About the show.
What'd you say?
A couple of questions about Stew's show.
What?
Oh, good.
What do you want?
No, it's Plugola. They want to know about my show.
Oh, your show. No, this is really cool. I have a love. Here you go, Stew's show.
Yes, there it
hosted
is.
by
That's
you.
that's the website page, StewShow.com, and that's a montage of the people who have appeared on my show. Okay?
It's an amazing montage. Now, how did this show get started?
The show is live every Wednesday from 4 until 6 p.m. at www.stewshow.com, and we try to bring back the classic golden days of TV. I have had people on the show like Shirley Jones, Shelley Berman. I've had full cast reunions of the My Three Sons, the Dennis the Menace gang, the Leave It to Beaver gang, and you asked me how it got started. I sort of got forced into retirement from doing
Here's
audience.
some of the pictures first.
That's Bonnie Franklin and Pat Harrington from One Day at a Time, and me in my normal audio show attire. I actually had to.
So
get
you
dressed.
did you just sat
That's
with
Dr. Demento.
Dr. Demento.
Yeah, and my girlfriend Janine, who's watching today. And if I don't say that
Hi, Janine.
there you go, from Brett Janine, and that is the late great Fred Travelina.
I worked with Fred.
Did you work with Fred? One of the greatest impressionists in the world, one of the sweetest guys.
Oh.
We lost a major talent a couple of years ago. He had a 10-year fight with cancer
I never knew that.
we thought he had licked. There, two game show legends. Now, the one person on the left, Brett, your mouth is open like you don't know.
Yeah, no, like I'm looking at their eyes. I'm like, I know the one on the left.
Okay, yeah, Tom Kennedy, correct. Pepper is on the right. Tom Kennedy, the great Tom Kennedy. You don't say, name that tune, Split Second Tom Kennedy.
Okay.
Yeah, just play along, Brett. And on the
I
left...
remember that show. Oh, wait, now that whatever,
and
old man,
on the
go
left
ahead.
is Jack Nars, who, the blank stares. Jack was involved in the quiz show scandals. He was hosting a show called Dotto, and that was one of the first shows to go down in the scandals. Jack is Tom Kennedy's brother. Here we have two people from Leave It to Beaver as
Jerry
they look
Mathers.
today. Jerry Mathers is on my right there, and below in the beard with the receding hairline is Frank Bank, who played Lumpy Rutherford, and is now my financial broker, who I'm about to kill for other reasons. And then that is, of course, the lovely Janine Kaysen, my better half. And there is Janine right down there. She also played Lassie on television. No, Janine is next to John. Janine is next. I know now. I'm really going to get it when I get home, or I won't. There is Janine is next to John Provost, who played Timmy on the Lassie show with June Lockhart, and that is the 11th generation Lassie dog. That is the son of 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 Lassie. Did you know that all the Lassies were male, by the way?
I did not know that.
Yeah, I'll tell you why in a
That's some
second.
weird, wild, wacky stuff.
Okay, from left to right. In the powder blue shirt, that's Larry Matthews from the Dick Van Dyke Show.
Wow.
Next to him is Stan Livingston, who played Chip Douglas on My Three Sons. Then is your genial guest for today in the center. And next to me, who I'd like to be a lot closer to, is Lydia Cornell from Too Close for Comfort. Now, you must remember that show.
Of course.
Play along. And then we have Paul Peterson, who was Jeff Stone on the Donna Reed Show. These are all of our personal friends, and they've all been on my talk show.
Wait. The young
blonde?
The young blonde's from what?
Too Close for Comfort.
Who was she on Too Close for Comfort?
She was Ted Knight's daughter on Too Close for Comfort.
Oh, wow.
Moving right along here, that's Shelley Berman.
Hey!
And above Shelley is Christopher Bay, who is my announcer for my show,
wow.
and also is Shelley Berman's personal archivist. Christopher is responsible for everything Shelley has done, keeping records of his career, recordings, films, video, and that's when Shelley came to do my show a few years ago. And here we have, do you know who that is? You won't have any idea. That is the great Stan Freberg. Stan Freberg, who is still getting it done and is an absolute genius, wonderful guy, and he's still working on the Garfield show doing various cartoon voices. And then there's another photo of myself, looking very tall and thin. I wish I looked that good now. With Stan Livingston from My Three Sons. And there's more. Oh, these two gentlemen were on my show yesterday.
These are awesome.
We did a salute to match game yesterday, and Roger Dobkowitz, the gentleman in the center, was the showrunner for The Price is Right with Bob Barker from the year 2000 until 2008. But the interesting thing about Roger is he started on that show when it first went on the air in 1972. How many people in this industry can hold a job for 36 years on the same show?
Wow.
Isn't that great? And then that was Randy West, who was one of the announcers on The Price is Right that took over after Rod Roddy passed away. There you go.
Wow. We have a question from a fan from the internet.
NH Ron says that he's been a fan of Steu since he started the show.
NH Ron says he's been a fan of yours since you
I think I
started
know
the
who
show.
NH Ron is. Hi, Ron. Thank you for your support. He's
And
a good
also,
guy.
Ron wants to remind everybody you can see archives on Steu's show.
Ron wants to remind everybody about the archives on your show. Tell us about the archives.
Well, okay, the archives are there for people who might miss our live broadcasts every Wednesday from 4 to 6 p.m. California time. You can log on to the archives area of the site, and I'm coming up on 300 shows. And
Congratulations.
They're all there.
There's
There's
the
a
Stu
shot of
Show's
the archives
archives.
right there. For a nominal fee of 99 cents, you get a minimum of a 2-hour show. I was on radio station for 5 years. Now the show has been spun off onto its own website, so we're no longer restricted to 2 hours anymore.
Cool.
Yeah, yesterday we went almost 3 hours, and so those are MP3 files that can be downloaded at 99 cents a piece and loaded on an iPod or an iPad or on your cell phone or on your computer, and take me with you wherever you go because I'm really, really lonely.
Oh,
I know.
Now, how did you get into archiving, though?
I've always wanted to keep a record of everything I've done. I've got a couple of audio tapes of warm-ups I did back in the 80s, and the few times I have been appearing on camera, I always like to keep copies of them. So when I started the show, I figured let's keep these for the sake of archiving.
But prior to that, didn't you worked with Lucille Ball?
Yes, very good. Yeah, I actually, during my years of college, I took a course at Cal State Northridge, and the professor happened to be Lucille Ball. And
Whoa, what?
I Love Lucy was my all-time favorite program.
Right. Oh,
There's me on Life with Lucy. You know, we're not going to have time for all these stories. You're throwing this stuff at me so quickly. I'm the photographer there.
That's why
and they were very smart.
Well, you shouldn't have so much of a career, damn it.
I know. But the one thing is the director here was smart that you never saw my face, which it didn't save the show from cancellation, but it saved the episode from being a total disaster.
Stop
If they run the clip long enough, you will see as I get up here and walk out, I will spin around just so I can get my puss on camera. I'm down at the bottom.
Down on the right, right?
Yeah, down in the left. Now, now this again, very realistic here. A tree is actually, it was a rubber tree pretending to be a real tree that Lucy had just killed with a miracle plant food. Okay, so that was the premise of this show, and people wonder why she should have stayed retired. Okay, well, they're not going to show me, but I got up and I spun around and yelled at Gail Gordon, which was great. I got to yell at Gail Gordon on camera.
Like you never worked again.
And I never worked again, and the show was canceled.
But no, didn't she hire you to be her personal archivist?
She was very impressed with me in the class, and I kept in touch with them afterwards. And I was one of the first people in the world to buy a VCR, and so were they. I had to scrimp and save for a month to buy a VCR.
Wait, is this it? Is this where
no,
you're
they're showing the same clip again. So
we'll
let me just tell the story over it until it comes to that point. And they bought a VCR, in 5 minutes because, let's face it, Lucille Ball. They had Rolls Royces and Mercedes and all of that.
Now, are we talking VCR or Betamax?
We're talking. I had Betamax. They bought VHS. That's
Look,
a whole nother
Google
thing.
that one, kids.
Yeah, Betamax. Google that, and
Google what a Betamax
You're really
is.
making me feel old. Anyway, I started collecting films, and Gary liked the same type of films that I collected, so we traded back and forth. We'd lend each other film and tape, and then their PR guy, who was in charge of their film library, passed away, and Gary Morton knew that I knew everything about her career, knew all the films and shows backwards and forwards, and they offered me a job to maintain the archives for them. And I was like a kid in a candy store because I am, I love being a TV historian. And okay, now I'm getting up here, and that's Jerry Prell, who's playing the reporter. He's a professional actor. This is my first time ever acting in a show. There,
nice.
There you go. I got a quarter of my face.
Awesome,
I yelled at Gail Gordon.
That was so awesome.
But
bro.
you don't know what a thrill it is to work on a program with Lucille Ball.
Wait,
and
hold
Gail
on.
Gordon.
We're gonna get to that in a second.
Oh yeah.
That move was just
They called me the spinning photographer.
You should have put that because see for people who aren't actors at home and you're just trying to make your break and you're like, damn, you're never gonna see my face. You just did a pirouette, bro.
Well, they were smart.
Awesome.
They knew not to put my face on camera, but I was determined, at least for 1 second, to say, "There he is." There you go. Last thing I ever did on camera until today, Brett.
And now we know why. But like I said, you really were involved in an incredible time for television because I really do feel like it's different. I feel like sitcoms now are more, like you're right, reality television took so much away, but I feel that sitcoms have lost that live edge that kept it warm, that had those moments. It's very, about 10 writers and what face. And there's great sitcom out there, don't get me wrong.
There are a couple.
But I feel like there's a lot. Oh, what are we looking at here?
That's from the Lucy fan convention site. That's how I used to look when I did warm-ups. Oh, God, I was so young.
You still look the same.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
I got a bad back. I need glasses.
They can't see that.
Neither can I, for that matter.
But
anyway, no. That's we produced after Lucy passed. I was involved with a lot of great guys that produced, the Star Trek conventions and Comic-Con and things like. Well, we did Lucy conventions, and we did them for 6 years. And I was one of the organizers. I also hosted panel discussions. We did a couple of Lucy trivia game shows where we gave away prizes. And my warm-up career helped me to interview people there and host game shows and things like that. And that was our homage, I guess, to Lucille Ball.
Now, I know we're going to need to go to break in a minute. Before we do, can you think of a question that we can ask our chatters about the Lucy show that they'll have to try to answer on the way back?
How hard do you want it to be?
Medium. Medium.
Medium question. Okay. How many different middle names did Ethel Mertz have?
Ooh.
Okay, this is a continuity question because the writers didn't have VCRs or film. They had film, but it was too much trouble to set up. So when they wrote the scripts, Ethel Mertz had more than one middle name during the course of I Love Lucy. How many and what were they? It's a two-parter. It's a two-parter question. Okay?
How many and what were they?
Yes.
We'll find out after this. You're watching ActorsE here on ActorsEntertainment.com. So, you have an idea, but you don't know where in the world to take it? Well, as my cue card says. The answer is And Now Media. You know we love them. We talk about them all the time. They're an amazing production company. Take a look at them. We'll be right back. Lucy question, Steu, and more.
Why do clients like these and these choose And Now Media? When they've got a message, an audience that they want to reach, why do they dive into our world? They do it because they want mind-bendingly breakthrough creative. They want to take focus. They want results beyond their expectations. And now, you've got a boutique creative house that's at your disposal. A passionate, professional team concocting, executing videos that connect your message to your audience like never before. And now dive into our world. Creativity with purpose. See how far your message can go. And now, it's your turn. And Now Media, creating success one video at a time.
And we're back. Hey, everybody. And now, I was doing it wrong. AndNow.com. AndNow.com. It's so unfancy. AndNow.com. They are And Now Media. We love them. You can see them again at the Actors Reporter page. They are up in the discounts. They're all over the place for good reason. If you have to get a production done, go talk to them because they'll steer you in the right direction and make sure it is quality every time. And now we're back to Steu.
Hi.
Showstack.
Hi.
So, the answer to our question, do we have anybody get it? Pepper?
No, there's a question that says, do you ever want to do stand-up?
Oop, bunch of wrong answers. What is the answer to the Lucy question?
Myrtle?
Myrtle? No, Mertz was the last name. Ethel, what were the... okay, all right. Should I give the answer?
Go for it. They didn't answer right. They
I take
lose.
my orders
You don't win a brand new car.
I take my orders from Pepper J. Do you want me just to give the answer? Ethel Mertz had 3 middle names in the course of I Love Lucy. All right? The first one was May. The second one was Roberta. And the third was Louise.
Wow, you really do know your trivia.
Yeah, don't ask me which episodes are which. If you asked me that while we were producing the conventions, I could tell you. But I'm 55 years old now. I'm old, and it's amazing that I remembered she had 3 names. So
She actually she used to live up where I grew up, and she was the one house that you couldn't get candy from.
you want to go there, Brett?
It was I know it was pretty awesome. But the security, they would not let you near anywhere up near Benedict Canyon. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I could see Frawley not giving away. Get out of here, little boy! But
flip side, although game show host Richard Dawson used to always give us candy.
That we were talking about Richard Dawson yesterday on my show.
Awesome,
because we did a match game. Now he had problems with the crew and the producers because of the fact that he cared so dearly for the contestants.
Really?
Yes. If you watch Match Game, you want to know why people always chose him for the super match at the end.
Why?
Because he was the only one of the 6 celebrities that consistently played the game well and was funny at the same time.
There he is.
There's Richard Dawson. And he genuinely felt terrible for the families on Family Feud when they lost.
He was so charming.
Yeah, so I only met him once, but he was a lovely guy.
Oh,
Just a lovely, wonderful, nice guy.
I have a trivia question for our audience. Let's see if you know it. Don't say. There is a current show called American Dad, and one of the characters is an homage to a very strong personality on Match Game. Do you know that?
I don't watch American Dad. I'm almost given up on Family Guy because it's gotten so...
Oh, don't start with me with Family Guy.
I know.
American Dad, the alien, is, if any of our chatters can get this...
I think I know who you're talking about.
He's modeled after somebody who was an amazing personality
that one
on
the
Match
viewers
Game.
will get, but I Love Lucy, they don't even know what that is, you know?
Yeah, they do.
Well, the people that are tuning
There's
in who
American
are my
Dad right
listeners
there.
are... Yeah, there's American Dad. Boy, your editor is good. Mary Jo.
Mary Jo's back,
she
everybody.
Is just
Yay, Mary Jo.
What a
Mary Jo.
talent. You are fast,
She's
girl.
good. She's
I've
good.
heard people say that about
She's
her.
good. Oh, hello.
Thank you so much.
Is this thing on?
There goes my close-up, Mr. DeMille.
What was one of your favorite shows to work on?
I loved working on The Jeffersons. The Jeffersons was a real fun show to work on. The audiences were wonderful. Sherman Hemsley and Isabel Sanford were the nicest people. I'm still friends with Sherman. He lives in El Paso, or I'd have him on my show already. I don't like doing my show live on the phone unless I absolutely have to. I like the intimacy. It sounds better for the listeners if we're one-on-one across from each other. And I can also look my guests in the eye, and I can anticipate when they're going to... I mean, don't you feel that with me right now?
The Jeffersons, yay!
There's a She
Will
is
Weezy
so
and Judge.
good. This girl is incredible.
Moving on up.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm still friends with George. I loved working on Silver Spoons. That was my first regular gig. I have become friends with Ricky Schroeder.
Oh, yeah?
And Alfonso Ribeiro and Aaron Gray and Joel Higgins. I kept in touch with them after the show.
Ribeiro.
Alfonso from
The first Carlton.
The first Carlton, exactly.
Everybody get that?
Alfonso was a very nice kid. We had a lot of fun.
Did you learn to dance from him?
No, I can't. I've got 4 left feet. I can't.
See, this was before like all the hip hop dancing and everything. Alfonso was the first guy to come out with like a bandana.
Alfonso and Michael Jackson were very close friends, and this was around the time that Michael did the Pepsi commercial, and Alfonso, I believe, was in that commercial.
Yeah, he was,
with
wasn't
him.
he?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so when he came on the set for there's Alfonso. Love you, man. We got to stay in touch. I'd love to get him on my show.
We have a question.
Okay.
Yes, Create Inc. wants to know, Steu.
Create Cookie?
Create Inc.
Create
Inc. Hi, Create Inc.
Hi, Create Inc.
Male or female?
I don't know. They want to know how you choose your guests for the Steu show.
Oh, they want to know how you choose your guests for the Steu show.
A lot of it has to do with whether or not I feel they are capable of doing a 2-hour show. A lot of it has to do with whether I have a fond memory of them. A lot of it has to do with their overall career, and a lot of it is desperation. I'll take anybody. There are criteria that I choose, and if they're a music personality, I would pass them over to my girlfriend Janine, who does a rock and roll baby boomer type 50s and 60s music show that's available on the website as well. In fact, this week she has, and I know you're not going to know this person, but the same website, StewShow.com. You just scroll down a little more for Janine Kaysen's baby boomer favorites. This week she has Donna Lauren on the show. Now John knows who Donna Lauren is, right, John? Just say yes.
Donna Lauren.
Play along. Donna Lauren. Okay, this will remind everybody. She was the doctor.
She's from the Donna Lauren and the Donna Laurenettes.
No. That good guess, but no. Donna Lauren was the Dr. Pepper girl in the 1960s. Relax, refresh, the flavors fine. I think my interview's over. She's a sweetheart, a wonderful, nice gal who had a string of hit records, was on a ton of television shows, worked with Dick Clark on American Bandstand, and was a regular on Shindig. Pepper J, you remember Shindig, don't you?
Did you dance like this on Shindig?
Yes, she did.
Oh, come do it, Pepper. Come here.
She did such a great interview. She did such a great interview with Janine, and they just talked about her music career, but her television career was incredible. So I'm going to have her on my show this fall. She's a lovely, lovely lady. So that's the criteria. The criteria is if you're a baby boomer favorite or you're a classic TV personality, you're on the show. That's it.
If you're a good guest, too, though, because it's amazing you see these personalities that are amazing, but as soon as they get on an interview, they clam up.
And he's staring right at me. No, he's looking right at me right now.
No, you're talkative. Yes, Pepper.
Jay has a question.
Jay wants to know, are your guests always in your studio, or sometimes do you do it on location?
The question is, do they come? Are they always in the studio or on location? As you were saying, you like to have them in the studio.
I do.
Have you ever gone on location for that one guest that you had to grab?
I have. There were two instances. Well, I will take a guest on the phone. Like I had the kid who played Little Ricky from I Love Lucy on the show, Keith Thibodeau. He lives in Mississippi. At the time I needed him, he was in Mississippi. But that's I Love Lucy. That's a big deal. So I'll do the show on the phone. And he was a wonderful guest. It worked out fine. The problem with the phone is sometimes you get that echo effect and you talk over each other.
You can't read.
We've been
people
doing
either.
that here.
You can't read. He's not. If you're wondering what's happening, he's not used to all the madness that goes on here right now.
No, I'm not. I'll start watching.
But you're awesome. Is he not awesome, people at home? Huh?
Thank you so
Bang
much.
on your keyboards.
Yeah.
Shake them in the air.
That sound you hear are people logging on to CNN right now. He's gone. Put it back. No, two times I went on location. I had the lovely Kay Ballard, the star of The Mothers-in-Law, on the show for my 200th episode. She lives all the way out in Palm Springs, and for you folks in Australia, that's about 200 miles from here, 150 miles. I didn't want her to drive. She's 85. I didn't want her to drive all the way to Chatsworth, which is where I do my show. So I drove out there, schlepped all my equipment out there.
Oh, that's nice.
If they have wireless internet access, we can do it live in an instance like there's Kay. My God, Mary Jo,
Kay.
you are fantastic. But she didn't have internet access. There are a lot of these people in their 80s, they don't know what the internet is. So I taped her. And then Shirley Jones and Marty Ingalls, the first time they were on my show, a lot of these people, they like it so much they come back. She got a part in a pilot on the day she was supposed to come here to do my show, and we ended up going to her house the night before the show and taping in her living room. She let us come and set all the equipment up.
That's awesome. We have another. You have a lot of fans today.
Ron wants to know.
Today.
Ron
again?
No, have you ever, there's Shirley Jones.
There's Shirley Jones.
Yes.
Ron wants to know, have you ever turned a guest away from the Steu show?
Oh, Ron would like to know, have you ever turned a guest away from the Steu
There have been
show?
a couple that during the interview I would have liked to, but I won't mention those
What do you
names.
do? What do you do when you're stuck in one of those interviews that you just don't want to be in anymore?
It's live. And I get the hint, Brett. 20,
I hope he gets to the joke.
20 more minutes. Do you want me to answer the question?
No, you're fun. Isn't he fun? He thinks he's not fun.
Do you want me to answer the question?
I do.
I had one guest who shall remain nameless, but my loyal listeners know who this person is.
Okay.
I had 7 pages of notes, and usually I ask them to tell a story. Well, this guest said, "Oh, you tell the story, and you tell them."
No.
Yeah, and if it wasn't that, it was yes, no, And so 7 pages of notes, which normally is enough for 3 hours, went by in about an hour and 15 minutes, and I had 45 minutes left to fill, and I went into, this person had a very controversial story about her past. Well, now you know it's female. I went to commercial, and I said, I've gone through everything here. I'm going to have to ask you about such and such, and she said, oh, okay. And we came back from commercial, and she lit up, and it's like, now, I purposely, because I don't do that kind of show. I don't do a controversial type show. I do a fun baby boomer, let's talk about your guest shot on Father Knows Best thing. But then we got into this heavy-duty stuff, and she was fabulous. She came to life. But there have been guests that I have not been able to get because they refer me to their publicists. And that right away, a red flag goes up because they're being nice. They don't want to be the bad guys. They sick their publicists on you and say, well, he's busy or he doesn't want to do a blah, blah, blah. I do not not deal with publicists anymore. I have to deal with the celebrity director. They're not going to be on the show. That's my rule of thumb now, since I've been burned too many times by that scenario.
Yeah. Well, you did figure out one great thing is finding that one thing to keep it going rather than bailing out.
That's why I love live stuff.
I mean,
like this.
that's a great host.
That's why I love to do stuff live like this, because you never know what's going to happen.
You don't.
You know.
You mean this is live? We have a chatter question thing.
Remembers the ActorsE show where all the guests said was, I don't want to talk about that.
An ActorsE. Oh yeah,
Did you host that one?
I've had.
So Mary Jo showed us the thing in the
I had one. And she will stay nameless as well.
Yeah.
No, I did. I had this.
Tell them what I said.
Wait. What was the question? It was the same thing.
No.
I'm glad I'm my own producer.
Or you host. I'll be the guest.
That there was an ActorsE show.
Yeah, there was an
where all the
ActorsE
guests
show
said was,
where all
I
the
don't
guests
wanna
said
talk
was,
about
I don't want to talk about it.
Now you've told them.
I already told that.
No.
You missed it.
You just watched
Can
it.
you rewind what we're doing right now?
www.steushow.com.
No, we had a very similar guest where she sat there next to me and was just like, yeah.
So how did you handle it? You got a break every 10 minutes. I go 30, 40 minutes sometimes without a break.
I just kept smiling, and I kept, eventually I just kind of turned it on her, meaning like I kind
You
of
turned on her. Very good.
No, I mean I put it in her court in a way that she couldn't not talk. Like I just kind of asked, like I gave her questions that there was no way she could give me yes or no.
How long have you been beating your boyfriend? That type of thing.
That's not. You try to keep it friendly.
What do you get desperate?
We have a question that I'm not going to reiterate.
Steu show has no commercials.
Steu show has no commercials?
They don't. How do they pay?
And if they don't, how do they pay for it?
Steu Show has commercials.
that good?
We try to take a break every 30 minutes. I have about a half a dozen companies that support the show, help pay for the feed, and then your support by going to the archives and downloading previous shows helps us to keep going.
And
Yeah.
it's only $1.
It's 99 cents. Psychologically, it sounds better to say 99 cents.
It does?
I've been told by market researchers.
Ah.
But it is $1. You're charged $1 if you put it on your credit
No,
card.
it's 99 cents.
But you're charged $1 if
It's
you put it on
99
your
cents.
But if you're charged $1 if
99
you put it on.
You're watching ActorsE here
Thank
at
you, Pepper.
ActorsEntertainment.com while we go get our 99 cents. Here's Anna Shell Ray to tell us about a unique, one-of-a-kind gift shop called ArtistOr.com. You're going to see why we love them. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with the stunning Steu Shostak.
Hi, I'm Anna Shaw Ray, here to share with you a terrific online gift store, ArtistOr.com. ArtistOr is an online art colony of completely original and absolutely affordable gifts and fine art. ArtistOr is particularly fun because it includes many unique and one-of-a-kind gifts, cards, and wall art that you can't get anywhere else. For example, in the gift section, ArtistOr carries beautiful apparel art ties. Yes, art ties! Ties hand-decorated with jewelry, fringe, beads, and all sorts of stuff. Animal art ties, art deco ties, music ties, you name it. And best of all, the ties are for both men and women and can be worn well with a pair of jeans or in a tux. ArtistOr also has inspirational corporate jungle posters. Joe Sabatino likes the poster of the hippo. He put it on his refrigerator to remind him of what not to look like. Yes, clown art, custom airbrush t-shirts, hand-knit scarves, photography, handmade decorated soaps, and more, all on one site, ArtistOr.com. I especially enjoy the artwork by Brennan's section of ArtistOr. Brennan offers his artwork on note cards, mugs, and wall art, whether it's cocktail ladies, a smoking clown, or Ben and Becky's art for a child's room. Brennan's unique watercolor or pen and ink art will be perfect for the occasion. And when you use the discount code ActorsReporter at checkout, you'll get 10% off your entire ArtistOr order. ArtistOr.com. That's spelled ArtistOr. That's ArtistOr. Check it out. You'll be glad you did. ArtistOr.com for all your unique gift needs.
And we're back. Hey, everybody. ArtistOr.com, you know why we love them. Really incredible gifts. You should check them out, too.
I will.
We tell everybody there's some amazing artists on there that create their own individual art instead of buying the same old crappy gift at Target. Unless Target wants to sponsor us, we love you, too. Actors Reporter, go to the discounts up top, and you can find out discounts about that and everything else as we've talked about. And these are one of a kind. Check these out. Ties. Look at that. You go to a party. Wow. You go to a party in this tie. There'll be a party in your You
never get through the metal detector.
I know, right?
God.
Look at that. It brings out your eyes.
I know. It shows my pock marks.
That's for you. Hey, all right, professional.
She ain't smiling.
She's
folks.
not when I do that 3 times in a row.
I love Pepper
We're
J.
live.
I love Pepper
No, wait.
J.
I even got
Pepper
confused.
You're
You do.
fired.
I love
Yay,
Pepper J.
we
Now
got
you need
fired
somebody
again.
to host on Thursdays, don't you?
See ya.
But I ain't driving the traffic again at 8 in the morning.
And
Holy
we're back. Now,
cow.
one thing I do want to know is I even got confused. You do a lot of different archiving, actually.
I have
and
my own archives.
You do. Now, what do you mean film archives? You have your own film archives?
I have been fascinated with television since I was a mere child of 8 or 9 years old, and I was given a standard 8 silent Bell & Howell projector when I was a kid. And I bought Castle Films, 8mm Castle Films.
What are we
and
looking
Ken
at here?
Films.
Is this part of your
That's me
archives?
that's a warm-up shot. That's this cast and crew from Silver Spoons. This is a piece that KTLA Channel 5 did on me last fall about my archives. That's all my videotape, or some of my videotapes there. Notice they're Betamax. Betamax.
I saw this at Beta. That's awesome.
Quality over quantity, folks. Betamax tapes. And then I guess if Mary Jo is going to let this piece run, the record albums, that's how I really started, collecting soundtracks like What's My Line, of TV shows. And then up here, upstairs, these are the film archives. This is television that goes back to the late 40s, the Dumont Network, all in cans, all climate controlled. Burns and Allen live shows. This is not what you see on Antenna TV. These are the live shows that were done in front of an audience in New York and California. Jack Benny, George Burns, black and white dragnet shows that you no longer can see on television. They only show the ones from the 60s. So I'm doing my best to preserve this stuff. When I went to work as a teenager and started making more money, I was able to deal with collectors around the country and acquire all of these films. I've got probably 3,500 to 5,000 reels of film. And,
That's incredible.
All dealing with classic television. Well, as a TV historian, you want to be factually correct when somebody like you asks me a question. And
But I also think there's so many amazing moments of television that are lost because we only get to see what has ended up on the DVD sets.
Correct. Maury Amsterdam, for example, had his own show on the Dumont Network way before the Dick Van Dyke Show, 1949. And Art Carney was a regular before he was Ed Norton on the Jackie Gleason Show. And so, and then they're showing my studio here in Chatsworth, which is some of the people that have been on the show, Bonnie Franklin there, and then my own personal tape and TV guides. These are tremendous help. I've got TV guides back to the late 40s before they went national. And there's something I took out of the KTLA dumpster when Channel 5 was running Popeye back in the 70s. When they're done with something, they throw it out.
They would throw it away,
And
yeah.
I jumped in the dumpster. Yes, I was homeless at a time, but I got these films and built up this entire movie and television show library. So there you are right there.
Yay to you that you really put that together.
You guys like me, you did great research on me. I didn't think I was this exciting.
We like
and I still
you.
don't think so.
You are though. You like I said, we tease you, but you were involved in a time in television that was really such a special time of the creation of television, and you were smart enough to reach in a dumpster. And I joke about that too, but my dad, he would do the same thing. He would crawl in dumpsters. No, my dad, he knew, no, we were poor and, not poor, but he would find ways for me to have the love of television and different things. And he would get me little film strips and I even have like a little, I think, original Peter Pan or something like that.
Yeah, you remember the show and tells? No, that's probably before your time too. The little show and tell where you'd put a film strip. And no, it's a show and tell. It's a record player with a TV monitor, and you'd push the film strip in, start the record, and the film strip would advance as the record played.
I think I do.
General Electric, show and tell. Google that. Yeah, see?
Now, wait, we do have to go soon. I want to make sure everybody here knows where do they see all the Steu. We have your website.
More Steu than you could ever possibly want. www.steu.com. STUSSHOW.com. That's where you can hear the show live. That's where you can download previous shows. That's where you can see videos and film of me, of Janine, my girlfriend, of all the wonderful guests who have come in and done the show.
When are the live shows?
The live shows are every Wednesday at 4 o'clock California time, 7 o'clock Eastern time. If you're in Australia or Germany or whatever, add 8 hours or 18 hours or whatever. Figure it out, but we're live usually from 4 to 6 or 7. We go as long as we need to do a show.
There's your IMDb.
There's my IMDb with all of my credits. They put me down for 3 episodes of Trouble with Normal, but that was the last show I worked on. I actually did 6, and I've been trying to get them to correct it because that was the last show I did warm-up on before I got old. So, once you hit 50 in this business, that's it, folks.
There's your Facebook.
There's my Facebook. I'd love for you to friend me and tell me you saw me here on ActorsE. And I have a StewShow.com page on Facebook as well. There you go.
Awesome.
You guys are great. Thank you so
You're
much.
great. Thanks for coming, man. I want to see
Pleasure.
more of you. You should do a little documentary on your warm up. Ever thought of that?
I have audio tapes, but I'd have to use this studio and recreate that chazarai I did at the beginning of the show today.
Hella.
Can you say chazarai on the internet?
Okay. Thank you for watching to all our fans out there. You know we love you. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a show. We are here every Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Hollywood time. And if you want to see more of today's ActorsE show or you want to see more of any of our shows, go to the Actors Entertainment page and put it in the little search box up there and put Stew's name in the search box and you can find him. Put my name in the search box, you can find me. Or if you've ever been wondering about any of our other guests, singers, dancers, actors, comedians, well, you get the idea. Visit the IMDb page for Actors Entertainment. That's what you're looking at right there. And follow us on our Twitter because we are cool and we Twitter. And if you'd like to join our Facebook page and join our Actors fan page, all of it, because that's how we keep things going, kids. The more you like us, the more you click us, the more you watch us, the more we can keep this show going, just like this guy right next to me. Oh, look at that, clowntown.tv. That's an awesome website you should go to every day because it's mine. Tomorrow on the ActorsE Chat Show, we have Joe Sabatino, who we love that he's coming in here to do some funny with us. Veteran actor and producer of Necessary Roughness. Oh, I'm down there? Okay. I didn't even know I was back on. Necessary Roughness, there it is right there. Stay tuned for our award-winning Actors Reporter animation, which we won this for.
Yes, I'll hold that for you.
It is heavy. We want to tell the award for that. Pepper J did. I didn't. And Now Media, which we showed them you that before. And thank you to our guest, Ed. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Oh my gosh. Hey, big Hollywood starlet that just happens to be walking by. Yes. I'm not from around here, but I want to be an actress just like you. What do I need to know? Kid, let me tell you. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a naive newbie like you, there's one thing you need to know. To get my first job, I lived in a slum. Beat out 50 other girls to play a drunk bum.
I cried.
My first agent charged me 30%.
Thanks.
Working 3 jobs and I couldn't pay rent. But I'm an actor.
She's an actor.
A shark gnawed my leg on a beef film in Sydney. To pay for the stitches, I sold my left kidney. I finally made a union, their rules were complex. Their piles of paperwork fogged up my specs. But I'm an actor.
She's an actor.
I'm an actor. Well, that's rather disturbing, but what's the one thing I need to know? Don't listen to the critics. Don't follow all the tabs. Forget that sleazy photog and the agent that's got crabs. Go to Actors Reporter. ActorsReporter.com. Learn the tricks and the secrets without all the sweat. An info-packed one-stop shop. It's free and on the net. Actors Reporter. ActorsReporter.com.
How can they help her?
Career cues, union news, makeup woes, advice from pros, insurance tips, choosing scripts, everything at your fingertips. Actors Reporter. ActorsReporter.com.
I just got a call back.
I'll do it.
What's that? ActorsE Chat Show? Happens to be my favorite in the morning. I want nothing but a cup of coffee, a bottle of Kahlua, 6 naked girls. Wait, no, that's not right. ActorsE Chat Show. What's that? ActorsE Chat Show? Happens to be my favorite. In the morning, I want nothing but a cup of coffee, a bottle of Kahlua, 6 naked girls. Wait, no, that's not right. ActorsE Chat Show.
Oh, hello. I'm Mary Jo Gruber. Thanks for joining us on ActorsE Live Chat Show. I'm just one of your ActorsE hosts, but as you can see, I'm also the ActorsE Live video editor, which means that I'm here, even when you don't see me. ActorsE is here to chat with you Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, or Hollywood time, as I like to call it. Our guests include actors, directors, producers, writers, singers, comics, and others that are all in the entertainment industry. You can see previous shows at www.actorsentertainment.com, and be sure to check out our guest index to find your favorite celebrities. See you next time. I'm working.